What's up, guys? Today we are in where?
New Orleans.
New Orleans, no big deal. And right behind us is the Mississippi River. In a couple hours we have a ghost tour that we're gonna be doing. But right now we're gonna get some grub, check everything out along the way. So here we go. Woo! So we are at Cafe, how did he say it?
Fontolba. What'd you get?
I got gumbo and rice and beans. It's Creole Cajun food. What did you get, babe?
The shrimp jambalaya.
Shrimp jambalaya? Yeah, that looks pretty bomb, not gonna lie.
It is really good, actually.
Whoa! So you said it usually gets crazy here at night, huh?
Yeah.
Like everyone comes out of the woodworks and has a blast.
It's just a party, all these street parties.
Can't wait.
Even these like layers of balconies will have people on them and stuff.
Wow.
It's a party city for sure. In Music City, jazz music.
Oh, to our right, over here is a bunch of tarot card readings. It's kind of funny, you got a Catholic church, and on the streets you have a bunch of tarot card readers. They're ready to rock. Got a tuba, trombone player, a couple trombones, trumpet, drums. We're about to do the ghost tour and see what that's about.
Checked in, you're all set. Okay,
Perfect.
so we're waiting for 2 more people. So we're gonna meet out front, say we want to get a cocktail, and then we'll get on our way.
Cool, sounds good.
Excellent.
All right, here we go. Hopefully we'll find some ghosts.
Yeah, we're gonna do a walking tour, ghost tour of downtown French Quarter at night.
Kind of looks ghostly like.
It really does. Apparently there's lots of haunted history, ghost history here.
Tonight, on our great ghost adventure, I need to go over a couple quick ground rules. Follow the bouncing hat, pay attention to me. Is any of you with open toes, like me, avoid any of the puddles because we really don't know what's in them here. Tulane University has done a study on the water. In addition to all the nasty things they found, there's 3 things that they don't even know what they are. Let's go do it.
Woo!
Here we go.
Hey!
My name is Scott. I'm a retired chef, moved here 7 years ago. I studied all the history because if you understand the history, you can understand the culture. And once you understand the culture, it helps you understand the food. And it just kind of grew from there because there was so much more history involved. This here is beautiful Jackson Square. In 1699, the brothers Bienville and Iberville staked a little bit of a claim, and by 1718, they established the colony of Nuevo Orleans. And that's the beginning. All Catholics are French. It's a law in France at that time that says you have to be Catholic. So the first thing they do is they build a church there. Everybody would go to church on Sunday. So what would you do when you got out of church? Right here in this beautiful garden, which was nothing but a patch of mud and dirt, they set up the gallows. There would be hangings every Sunday. You went to church, then you came out and you watched them hang the pickpockets. Or maybe if your offense wasn't that bad, you were put on the wheel. They would chain you to the wheel, and then they would come by and very slowly with a hammer break every single bone in your body to see how long you would last. I heard that the record was like a week. Many, many souls have passed here. They say the reason that this is locked at night is because of that.
You know, this is where my analytical mind starts to look at something. Is like, if the world's been here for millions of years, the entire world is filled with dead bodies.
That's true.
So then wouldn't every place be haunted? So this isn't legend, this is historical fact.
When it's legends, I'll let you know.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is all fact.
Wow.
This is Muriel's Restaurant. Beautiful restaurant. One of the best restaurants in town. This was the home of Pierre-Antoine Jourdan. Pierre had a problem with the drink. Drinking wasn't his only problem. His other problem was gambling. It wasn't just that he gambled, it was that he was a bad gambler. And so little by little, family fortune dwindled away. But one night he gets the cards, and he's finally decided that he has the hand that's going to change his fate. He has nothing left to bet. He goes back into his office, takes his key and opens the center drawer, pulls out the deed to the house, because he knows these cards are going to change his life. And sure enough, brings it out, he puts it on the table, he gets that next card, and he was right. It changed everything in his life because he lost. And he lost the house. The guy that won, he was very kind. He gave him 72 hours to get out of the house. He couldn't leave. He loved this home. He had made it his home. He loved New Orleans. So he went to work and he tied a noose right over the front door. He hung himself. He died. It goes through numerous different owners, but finally, in 2000, Muriel's decides they're going to open this restaurant. They get set, they train, they open, and it's a catastrophe. Everything is going wrong. Wine bottles are flying out of the racks and smashing on the floor. Glasses are going crashing across the bar. Waiters are carrying full trays of food out of the kitchen, only to lose them onto the floor repeatedly. And nobody knows what to think. The management calls everybody together and says, what's going on here? I hired the best of all of you. And they say, it's not us. You know, it's like I'm carrying my tray and somebody knocks that one, but there's no one there. So we have a saying here in New Orleans, if you can't fix it with alcohol, seance is the next best thing. So they bring a medium in, and they go upstairs here where Pierre's office was. And right away, the medium contacts the spirit of Pierre and says, Pierre, what's going on here? And he says, I love this home. I had lavish parties here all the time, and I loved it. It was a great place to be. And now you're here and you're having these parties every single night, and no one has invited me. What can we do? Let's set a place for Pierre Reina. So to this day, still, in the back of the carriageway, there's a special table set back there. I've been told $50 and I've been told $100 is how much extra it costs to sit there if you want to. Every night, they set it up, and they put a glass of wine and a basket of bread on the table. And if you decide to make a reservation there, if you're a party of 5, they set the table for 6. If you're a party of 8, they set it for 9. It doesn't matter, they always set Pierre's table. He's been very happy, and ever since that happened, they've never had any trouble in it. And you can see, if you look back there, you will see all the way in the back.
There it is in the very back.
Oh, that's crazy.
You want to look at that building right on the corner there. This is the Lalaurie Mansion. This is where the most horrific documented atrocities took place. It was in newspaper accounts, things like that. Delphine McCarty, she gets married off when she's 12 to a much older gentleman. He dies rather shortly thereafter. She inherits his wealth. Her parents die. She inherits that wealth. She marries a second husband. He dies of mysterious circumstances. She inherits his wealth. Along comes Dr. Louis Lalaurie. Delphine marries him. They buy this home here. They love to entertain. But one of the things that everybody notices that every time they come to one of Delphine's parties, that she has different people serving. Okay, it's not like you got caterers, they have slaves. One day, Delphine is seen chasing a young slave girl on the gallery there. The girl dives off headfirst into the ground and dies. And the neighbor on the other side of the street sees it, immediately calls the police. They come, they take away her slaves. It took her about 3 days and she was able to buy all her slaves back. But people notice they're always different. And if you ask her the first time, she'll just kind of laugh it off and not say anything. And if you ask her a second time, you're not on the invite list the next time. Here's what happens. She serves these multi-course dinners, and in between courses, she would go up and come down in a brand new gown. The rumor was that she would go upstairs and beat her slaves so bloody that she would have to change clothes. That was the only way she could do this. It was on April 10th of 1839. There's a fire in the back half of this house here where the slave quarters are. So, all of a sudden the fire department shows up. And they go back in there, and behind the stove is where the fire is, and there is a slave woman that is chained to the stove. And they want to know, what's going on? How did this fire get started? She says, I started it. Carry her outside, they put the fire out, they come back and they get her and question her again. How did this fire get started? She said, I started it. They told me, tomorrow I'm going upstairs. And horrible things happen upstairs. Anybody that goes upstairs never comes back. And all we hear are screams. So I'd rather die burning than go upstairs. So the fire department goes up to check it out. And they go through all the bedrooms and there's nothing there. But on their way down, there's a tapestry against the wall and it's fluttering in the wind. And they pull it out and behind it is a locked door. And they break the door down and they go up into the attic space, and this is where they find the atrocities. Remember I told you about the wheel? There were people on a wheel up there that had all their bones broken. There was an experiment done. There was a small box this size, and they broke the bones in this woman's body because they wanted to see how compact that they could make someone. She was alive in this box.
Jeez.
There were people chained to the walls that had cuts all over their body that were infested with maggots. There was one case where a limb had been removed and an animal limb had been sewn on in its place. There were people that were dead there that were still hanging in the chains. The fire department released them all and brought them down. They start looking for the Lalauries and can't find them. All of a sudden a carriage comes out, turns, and goes down 2 blocks right to the wharf where there's a ship waiting. 2 people board the ship and it sails. The Lalauries were never held accountable for any of these atrocities. They got away with all this horrible stuff. And there was still screaming and scratching heard for many days afterwards that they couldn't figure out what that was. And the story of screaming and scratching went on forever. As we move forward, the building is turned into a spaghetti factory housing unit. We have a big population of Italian immigrants. They come, they convert it into a 40-bedroom, 40 apartments, little tiny apartments, and these Italians all move in. But it's the scratching they hear. And to them, the scratching means that there's rats. And they lived through the Black Plague in Europe, and they want to have nothing to do with rats. So they vacate, and it goes south. Next, it's a girls' school. The girls would come down with scratches on their arms from their upstairs bedrooms to the main floor for their lessons. And then the teachers would be like, what are you guys doing to each other? And they would say, it's not us. There's a mean lady upstairs that's doing this. Yet there was no one up there. It gets renovated after that, and the 3rd story is put on. They tear up that attic floor, and they find the mummified bodies of 2 African-American slaves underneath there. And on the bottom of the floorboards, there's all scratches. They were buried between the floorboards alive. It goes all the way back to the Lalauries. Fast forward, right after Katrina, 2007, we got this renovated home that's the largest in the French Quarter. Hollywood's moving into town. Brad and Angelina are here building houses for people. John Goodman's here. This real estate agent gets a hold of it and calls Nicolas Cage and says, hey Nick, I got this big beautiful home, biggest home in all of New Orleans. Why don't you buy this house? It's only $2 million, which apparently for Nick, that was a good deal. Nick buys the house, comes down here. He's married to Lisa Marie Presley at the time. Just like a night like tonight, here's all these groups standing on the sidewalk. He's in the town car and he says to the driver, oh look, all my fans, they must have heard I'm coming, they're here to greet me. And the driver laughs and says, this is your house? He's like, yeah. Well, they're doing haunted tours about this house. He goes, well, what's haunted about my house? And he hears this same story that I'm telling up to this point of him. The word is that he and Lisa Marie had an argument for about 45 minutes on the corner down there after the tour left about how could he possibly buy a house without knowing what's going on in it, etc. They went and checked into a hotel, never came back. The word is that he's never spent a night in the house at all. Now we're told that the house is occupied by an oil man from BP Oil Company, a millionaire from there. He hardly ever stays here, but occasionally the lights are on in both. But
so it's primarily unoccupied.
It's primarily unoccupied. There's a woman and a caretaker that work there in the house. The story I was told from someone that knows the daughter was she was walking behind her mother one day, coming out into the courtyard. She was right behind her mother, and her mother swears that somebody grabbed her by the back of the hair and pulled her down. And the daughter saw it happen like someone did that, yet no one was there. It is definitely one of the most haunted places, documented atrocities.
So what inspires you to have such amazing hair? You were forced to? If your hair was a superpower, what type of superpower would it be?
I'm not sure.
Not sure is a great superpower. It makes you unable to make decisions. That's a good one. What about you? You guys have amazing hair. What's the superpower behind it? In Visibility, that's a great one, because I can't even see
It
you.
contrasts. I mean,
Yeah.
it's bright,
No,
right?
I can't even see you at all.
And then-
What about you?
Transparency.
Transparency, so vulnerability and having good communication with people. You know, people need that in the world, so you should probably run for presidency or Congress, because transparency is one of the most important things. All right, we have superpowers all over us here in New Orleans. Everybody give a shout on the stream. Yeah, my boy. All right, you guys have been good sports. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. What's
Follow
yours?
me at VAMU10 on Instagram.
VAMU10 at Instagram. What about you? What about you? She's got nothing, but she's got soul. That's what counts. Follow my girl. Everybody, this is New Orleans right here. This is a beautiful night. Hey. All right, so we are a part of this ghost story, ghost hunter tour going on right now. And we got some homies right now. So I have a couple questions for you guys. So, do you guys believe in ghosts?
I haven't actually seen one,
Yeah, okay.
but so I can't really say I believe it. The story sounds real.
Sure. Does the tour right now make you feel more of a firm believer or a skeptic?
Firm.
More of a firm believer?
Firm.
All right. What about the story of the vampire?
I never knew vampires even existed.
Okay, so if you had the choice of being a vampire or a werewolf, which one would you be?
I'm a vampire because baby still lacking. We're getting the lacking.
Wait. You got you.
Vampires because we don't like lacking.
They're nasty. Vampires are nasty. You be a werewolf? All day.
I'm a
Werewolf? You be a werewolf?
See that little blood sucking ass on.
Hey, the cool thing about vampires is they're seductive and they're immortal. That's pretty badass, you know? You got seduction all day. You got immortal swag all day. I mean, I don't know.
What would you rather be?
I'd be a vampire all day.
All day.
All day, bro.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
So, I'm not gonna lie. New Orleans is pretty amazing. It's pretty lively. Really good people. They know how to have fun. And whoever has not been to New Orleans, you definitely need to be here. Look, I mean, it's like almost the middle of the night right now. And everybody is here just to have a good time and have fun. That's all that matters in life, is having a good time and have fun. So, if you haven't been here, you need to. What's wrong with you?
We're gonna tip this guy via the dog. I think the dog gets the tips. Can you do it?
All right. Well, this is the end. We just got back to the hotel. We checked out the ghost tour and walked the strip. The strip was amazing. Full of a bunch of lively people just having a blast.
Lots of music.
Yeah, it's so much fun. We are now, like I said, back at the hotel and we are exhausted.
It was a lot of walking.
It was. Okay, our phone died.
The camera.
The camera died, yeah. We got to meet some cool friends along the way. And
See all the different live music and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a crazy awesome city. There's always something going on. Tomorrow we're here again and Jazz Fest is here.
Hey.
The big festival. So we got a day pass to go to Jazz Fest. Oh yeah, we're tired.
Yeah,
So, but
a
tomorrow's
long day.
yeah. But tomorrow's Jazz Fest, and we're gonna see like Red Hot Chili Peppers tomorrow evening for sure.
Yeah, but this is the first day of being in New Orleans. That's it for today, and we will see you guys on the next video.
Tomorrow.
Later.
Bye.
Meow, meow, meow.